Всем привет, с вами снова Кокос, и мы продолжаем проходить игру Kingdom Come Deliverance. В прошлой серии мы расследовали дело фальшивомонетчиков, которое привело нас в монастырь. Мы теперь притворились Карлом, который должен был поступить в монастырь, и должны здесь найти бывшего разбойника, который, так сказать, предал свою братью, и позывной его Святоша. Вот. А как мы это сделаем, как мы найдем, время покажет. Так, у нас сейчас 4. Так. Здесь я увижу, нет? Вижу. 3 утра. Начало дня. 4 утра заутреннее. Блин, я, конечно, не сведущ в этих монастырских терминах. По-моему, это типа молитвы, что ли? Совместная трапеза в 6, работа в трапезной в 8, назначаемая братой Невласом 8, да? 12 дня, работа в библиотеке, назначаемая братом библиотекарем. 4 дня молитва, вечерняя. Да нет, вот молитва еще есть. Потом вечерняя. А это заутренняя. Это я так... Это же разные вещи, что ли? Так. Мне все еще показывают, что спать, да? Спать иди. Так, ну в 3-то мы уже все встаем. Так, я не имею права спускаться. Да?
I feel quite hungry.
Ой-ой, так, я голоден. Блин, это плохо. Что я голоден? Завтрак-то только в 6. Репа, сыр, медовуха. Блин, придется лопать. Так, я так думаю немножко пропустить. Так нет, уже 4. Народ, встаем. Вот так, хватит. Костел на молитву, службу. Ой-ой, не тот подвал. Так. А что, мне где-то надо встать? Мне тоже петь? Нет? Да? Нет? Нет? Да? Что-то у нас тут мало. У нас же послушников было больше.
This is not a good time for questions, brother.
Окей, я понял. Очень сложно. Сюда можно? Можно. Очень сложно. Хорошо, поем. О, мы еще подходим. Так вы только еще идете. Ба. Там. Сколько нас там было? Вроде 5 катеров белых-то мы. Че, все в сборе? Нет. Стопэ. Ну там еще идут. Нас сейчас 4. О, да они все так и просыпаются. Я еще рано приперся, значит. Надо было поваляться в кровати. Так, кто у нас тут? Брат Невлас. Поставщик Иоанн.
Pay more attention, brother.
Библиотекарь.
Why such haste?
Watch your step. Why such haste?
Уставник. А это?
Watch your step, brother.
Где-то еще же приор. Это типа главный, да?
Slow down, brother.
Все? А что замолчали? Все, стоим, ждем. Чего стоим, ждем-то, блин? Так, это, я так понимаю, за утреннее. Мы стоим, то есть и молимся, да? Так, как тут руки сложить? Ладно, не будем так делать. Я ведь могу перекручивать? Или я должен стоять реально, то есть игровой час? А чё, куда идем?
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Хавать идем?
Why such haste?
Поставщик.
I'm Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony. I have the feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and often. You see, I'm the circator.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that everything's the way it should be.
When it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Abbot Peter is the administrator of the monastery, but you won't see him. He's always traveling, and on top of that, he's old and infirm. Perhaps the good Lord will bless him with many more years of life.
And what happens when the old abbot dies?
Then we elect a new one.
Are there any candidates to be the new abbot?
Yes, there are. Brothers John and Nevlas, cursed elections. Since the brothers began talking about them, there's only been strife in the monastery. On one side are brothers who'd like to see John as abbot, on the other, those who support Nevlas, and they seem to be capable of fighting about it forever.
Tell me about John.
John is the circator and the oldest brother here. It would be only natural if he took the crozier from Peter. He has experience, merit, and composure. He'd lead the monastery wisely.
I'd like to know about Nevlas.
Nevlas manages the monastery's property. He doesn't have the most experience, but his drive and heart are pure, his faith firm, and his ideas rational. Although perhaps he's too keen to change our routines here, which many brothers don't like.
Why does it matter so much who wins?
Because the future direction of the monastery hangs in the balance. The younger brothers feel they have to work more than their superior brothers, and that some brothers are more concerned with their own comfort than with worshipping God. The older brothers take a different view. They say the younger monks want privileges they haven't earned, and each side has its own candidate.
I thought politics weren't part of the monastic way of life.
You're right, but we know nothing besides the monastery, and the abbot's decisions can influence our entire life. Some of the brothers take it
Политика
very
тут,
personally.
политика там.
I thought politics.
Ой, не-не-не-не. Прошу. Так, а нас там не потеряли?
Slow down, brother.
Watch your step, bro.
А
In
чё?
a rush to... Slow
А,
down,
время
brother.
замирает.
In a rush to pray?
Серьезно.
What
Пока
troubles you?
болтаем. А нет, вон они идут.
I'd like to ask.
Так, это мы
Who's in
спрашивали
charge?
уже?
Abbot Peter is the administrator.
Да,
What
ты
happens
уже
when-
Then
рассказывал.
we elect...
Are there ever any disagreement?
Unfortunately, yes. The biggest quarrels right now are about the election of the new abbot. They can already see poor Peter in his grave.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
The old abbot is practically on his deathbed. There are two candidates. Half the monastery wants John, the other half Nevlas, and there's no chance they'll come to an agreement. But you've probably already noticed the atmosphere around here.
Ага. Так, не
А
понял, почему она не исчезает?
I understand.
Все.
Tell me something about life here.
Prayer, work, obedience. That just about sums it up.
Can you tell me something about the rule of St. Benedict?
7 centuries ago, Saint Benedict of Nursia wrote a collection of monastic rules, which we still follow today. They're read at every meal. The fundamental precepts are obedience, work, and prayer. We're fully devoted to serving God. The outside world beyond the monastery walls is foreign to us.
Do you never want to know what's going on out there?
And what should be going on? The sky is just as blue and the grass is just as green. Perhaps the rulers change, but the greatest ruler of them all will remain unchanged through the ages.
I'm interested in the monastery's history.
It was founded by Saint Procopius 500
Да,
years
про
ago.
Прокопия я уже знаю.
After his death, heretics occupied the place for some time, but then the order was restored and brothers of the true faith returned.
Heretics, you say?
They wanted to worship God with some foreign rituals, in a language foreign to God. They were driven away and their books burned.
Ух ты, как это сейчас
What are the
заниматься
roles
монахи.
of the various monks here?
Well, the abbot is the head, but he's not here now. Then there's the prior and the sub-prior, the librarian, the porter, and many others. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the circators.
Это типа тебя
They're the
опасаться,
ones
да?
who maintain
Ага.
discipline and punish bad behavior.
What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and
Только
become a
через
fully
год.
fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
А я думал,
But you
свою
know them
кандидатуру
yourself.
уже в аббаты выставить.
Yorick is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager. Perhaps too eager. Siskin is good
Sheesh.
company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hardworking and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as
Да, Лукаш
quiet as a
какой-то
mouse,
странный.
and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
Can you leave the monastery?
Да.
Well, where would you go? You have everything you need here.
Mm.
Anyway, all the
Там у
doors
меня
here are
бабки.
closed and locked tight, so no one can get in or out.
А еще там страницы, которые я надыбал в монастыре. Блин, и сейчас если с ними еще квесты здесь, то это печально. Потому что они остались там.
Who would you like to be the new abbot?
The old abbot isn't dead yet. It's too early to talk about elections. But if I had to choose between the two who are already putting themselves forward, John would be my choice.
Так, ясно.
Why such haste?
Поставщик. Лукаш, а мы с тобой полностью поговорили?
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Ага.
Come on.
I could. What has been...
Это было уже. Нет.
I'd like to ask you something about the...
Не собирайся еще никому ничего
Well, that's all.
рассказывать. Так, Лукаш был монах, был монах. Так, у меня точно времени течет? Не точно. Не понял. Че, все? Это все?
Watch your step,
Блин, может факел взять? Давайте один факел возьму. Потому что что-то ночью здесь вообще... О, вино... Понятно. Эй, подождите меня, подождите меня. Так, монах, монах, монах. Монах, монах. Лукаш.
Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service,
А чё, куда мне-то сесть?
fear of hell and the glory of life.
Why
In a
such
rush
haste?
to pray?
Извините, извините.
Then watch your step,
Я вам по
Receive it
ногам
as a
хожу.
divine command and cannot suffer any delay.
А,
in
вой есть.
executing. But this very obedience will be accepted
Я думал, свободные
by
места
God,
занимаем.
pleasing to men only if what is
Лукаш,
commanded is
монах.
done without hesitation.
Антония, мы с тобой договорились?
Delay will warm
Я,
What
мог-
troubles you?
я могу здесь разговаривать? Или нам молча надо кушать?
Obedience given to superiors is given to God.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices.
А, я только
I'm interested in Lucas.
No one knows much about him. He doesn't talk to anyone. He works, eats, sleeps, then does it all again the next day. It's as if he wanted to get it all over with as soon as possible. By it, I mean his entire life.
The punishment due to murmurers
Спасибо.
That's all. Thanks.
and make satisfaction. The rule of
Буду
Saint
никому сейчас
Benedict.
еще рассказывать.
Readings on humility. The
Оба.
first degree
Я
of
хаваю.
humility is obedience
Nice.
without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer
Так
to them
ясно.
than Christ, who, because of the holy
Может, я уже
service
наелся?
they have professed, and the fear
О, отлично. Я сытый.
as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command.
Ну, конечно. Блин. Ой. Отлично. Еще. Что еще есть? Давай. Забираю. Еще. Так, очень сложно, я понял. Как будто кто-то что-то делает. То ли алхимик, то ли что-то такое. О, хлеб, сыр. Ну, давай на одну отмычку наберем. Никого нет. О, джекпот. Та-та-та-та. Блин, я не знаю, если эти ящики были закрыты, то есть, возможно, я тут лазил. А если так они закрыты, то как я, например, наберу на ту же самую отмычку?
Stripes and other bodily punishments.
Лукаш.
Knowing that the
А где
discipline
тот, который
of the
этот?
fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your
Во,
son with
Киларь.
rod,
Брат
and will
Киларь.
deliver his soul from death.
What would you like?
Ну как, мы с тобой разговаривали уже. Ты мне отмычку хотел дать. И понеслась. Ой-ой. А мне хватит? По-моему, хватит. Там еще уж поторговаться можно.
Let's have a word about the...
Well,
Since it's you...
that's...
Ну ладно. А, я еще могу.
What about this?
Потому что красненькая у меня
That
загорелась,
sounds
значит
pretty
можно еще
interesting.
раз.
A little less, and I'll
А
be
потом
satisfied.
сработает навык, который не дает ему уйти от меня. Все,
That's a sum I
отлично.
can live with.
Так, слушай, а ты у нас что-то еще там предлагаешь? Какие-нибудь
Praise be to
услуги?
Christ, brother.
Найти
I'm
непросто.
looking for something a little...
And what
Не
would
совсем
that be?
обычное, да-да-да. Мне... О, оружие.
I need to
ну-ка.
get hold of some kind of weapon.
Well, I can't help you with that. And besides, what use would a weapon be in here?
Как какой? А
I
вино?
need to get some wine.
Достанешь?
You're not the only one.
Вдруг я
But I have to
наколдыкаться
keep
хочу.
records of all the casks, and the prior checks on
Учет
them.
бочонка.
He'd notice any loss straight away. Just like our food, everything's rationed. So I'm sorry, but I'll have to disappoint you, brother.
Понятно. Так, ну, с отмычками
I'm
мы
looking-
вроде уже
Lock.
проходили. Да-да-да.
Well, I'll What troubles you?
Так, а что-то еще было? Найти непросто. Ничего особенного, если
No, no.
подумать. Окей. О, ключ от
Brother, I've a
монастыря.
favour to ask. And I think you're the man to help
Хотя у
me
меня
with
уже
it.
универсальный
Or
ключ
you
есть.
used to be, before you
Зовется
came here.
отмычкой.
I see. So it's the dodgy sort of favor, is it?
Well, yes. I need to get hold of the keys to the monastery.
That won't be easy, I can tell you that straight off. The prior always keeps the keys close by him. So how exactly do you imagine I could help?
Ты мог бы
Could you
украсть?
take the keys off him?
Rob the prior? You've
да.
got to be joking.
You
Нет.
wouldn't be doing it for free?
Then what could you possibly pay me? I'm done with my thieving, and you'd have to offer me a whole lot of groschen to change my mind.
How much would you want?
A princely sum, brother.
Блин, у меня
This is
еще и
no trifling
ключ.
matter.
Ключ от монастыря
much?
лежит.
Where am I
Теперь в
supposed to
том
find that
сундуке.
much coin? No one here has any money.
Мне надо до сундука
Precisely.
добраться. До моего.
But no groschen, no theft. And think twice before you ask me that kind of favor
Я
again.
понял, да. Так, расскажи мне о
You
чем
have some
прошлом.
interesting skills for a monk. Don't suppose you want to tell me how you picked them up?
What's there to tell? We were all young and foolish once. I was a student in Prague, completely broke, living from hand to mouth and studying all day. It wasn't an easy life.
So you turned to stealing?
I set about securing a livelihood as best I could. A goose, some new shoes, a bit of coin to spend with my friends. Without that little bit extra, I'd never have completed my studies. I would have turned into a beggar. And who else do you know that can say he's serving God thanks to having been a thief?
No one, brother. Thank you for telling me your story.
Так, это проходили вот это.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Ой, а тут все, да? Ну так,
Who would you
ладно.
like to be the new abbot?
John, definitely. Compared to him, Nevlos is young and inexperienced. John has the wisdom of age, and he already has the respect that Nevlos will have to earn.
Понятно. Ты Иоанна. Йодок.
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the
Старший
oldest of the novices.
из послушников.
I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
I'm interested in the other novices.
Давай по порядку.
Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is alright. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the other brothers.
Lucas?
I'm interested in Lucas.
Nobody knows much about Lucas. He keeps himself to himself. If you ask me, he's got something to hide. I'd keep well clear of him if I was you.
Do you have any grounds for suspecting him of something?
Quite a lot. And also none at all. The circuitous who make the rounds despise him, and they never punish anyone without cause.
Так, у нас там еще... А, нет, я не буду это рассказывать. Расскажи мне.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
Так, кого бы ты
Who
выбрал
would you
аббатом?
vote for as the new abbot if you could?
Why do you care? We don't have the right to vote, so we shouldn't get mixed up in it.
I'm just interested, that's all.
I like John better. But like I've said, it's not our place to get involved. It's enough that Antonius is mixed up in it. Don't you start too.
Антоний влез. Так. Монах, монах, монах. Чижик.
My name's Gregor,
Let's
a novice.
talk.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although it's not important.
Чистилище.
Welcome to purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
То есть тебе не особо нравится, да? Я так посмотрю. Не скажешь мне что-нибудь о
Will you tell me
себе?
something about yourself?
О, со
Look,
всеми
nothing
познакомился,
against
да?
you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Ты что-то
Are
скрываешь?
you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubic?
Ты типа
I was
дворянин?
rich and I had everything.
With you, brother.
But then my
Был.
father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me.
Да, не
I've no
тяжело.
head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate.
В
I had
поисках
one
Святоши
choice,
задача
the
выполнена.
monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it.
Я что, нашел
To get
Святошу?
rid of me while he's still alive?
They must have realised you robbed them.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder.
Indeed so.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
Far, far away.
That's all I wanted to know.
Далекое, далекое.
Please keep it to yourself, especially the part about the coin.
Так, это ты о
Will you
себе
tell me
рассказал?
something about you?
Look,
Хорошо.
Very well.
thank you.
О, исчезла. Мне все еще не дает твой тайник.
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, At other times, I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
Я его что-то где-то спалил, что ли?
What kind of a book is it?
I found it here in the library. It was on a shelf where it should never have been. So I hid it to read later. It's the Necronomicon.
Чего?
Ghosts,
Necronomicon?
demons and invocations of
Это
powers
вторая
beyond our
часть у
world.
тебя или что? Потому что первая часть у меня сейчас в сундуке там лежит. И она не может быть.
Who knows what it means? I tried to count the syllables, read the words backwards, but nothing. I'm not getting anywhere with it.
Oh, I'm not too sure what the prior or the cicada would say about a book like that. Actually, what anyone would say. It sounds quite prohibited.
Prejudice. But you're right, it is prohibited. For no good reason, though. Has knowledge ever done anybody any harm?
You're right. Knowledge should never be prohibited.
Oh, I'm glad you agree. Just take a look at the book. Maybe you'll be able to make some sense of it. I haven't grasped a single syllable. Just please don't tell anyone about the book. If the brothers learn that I took it from the library and hid it, I'll be in a lot of trouble.
Мне вот этот чувак уже нравится. То есть, по-моему, он не является святошей. Оставлю тебя в покое, расскажу обо всем аббату. Да мне пофиг, да?
Actually, I don't care. God save.
Твой тайник, как ты избегаешь наказания. Во, да, кстати.
How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayers?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too awake at that time of the morning.
А давай ты мне немножко от своего клада дашь, и я тоже так здесь себе куплю. По поиске, сказать вам поиски все тоже нет. Что ты думаешь о других послушниках?
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. Tell me about Antonius.
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius. He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
I'm interested in Yodok.
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip. I'd bet my life that if he wasn't here, he'd be a cumin scout, bowing and scraping for a few groschen.
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got his eye on everyone, and he'll rat on you for even the slightest of infractions.
Понял. Он ябеда.
What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him. I've tried so many times to talk to him, but he always backs away like a virgin on a wedding night.
Так, с этим мы тоже разобрались. Кого бы ты выбрал в аббату?
Who would you elect, Abbot, if you could?
Most likely Nevlas. He's a fine fellow and he seems honest. But, truth be told, it doesn't matter much to me. Monastery will still be a monastery, no matter who's in charge. If you really want to talk more about it, ask Antonius. He seems to have taken an interest.
Так, ну с тобой вроде все разговорили. Правда, я не знаю, где твой тайник.
Why such haste?
Иоанн. Это тот, который...
Praise be to Christ, brother.
На аббата претендует. О, походу, да.
About you in the election. Will you tell me more about it?
Ask me anything you want.
О себе?
Tell me something about Nevlas.
Nevlas is weak and toothless. He's full of hot hair. How anyone could think he'd make a good abbot is beyond me. Enough. I don't even want to hear his name again.
Oi.
I'd like to know what's going on here.
Well, the young brothers feel they don't have the same rights and responsibilities as we, who have spent much of our lives here. And what of it? Privilege needs to be earned. Nevlas is lying when he says he wants to right wrongs. All he cares about are benefits for himself and his cronies.
I'd like to help you if I can.
There is something you could do.
Давай,
I'm convinced Nevlas must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out. If he was preaching water and drinking wine, for example.
So I should dig something up on him and tell you about it?
Exactly. But I doubt you'll have any luck. Nebulus is too cunning and careful to give anything away.
Okay.
Once I find something out, I'll tell you.
Так, спасибо.
Thank you for answering.
Что ты хотел? Выбор Хабата. Так, окей, значит, мы закончили. Монах. Так, клерк. Монах. Так, ну-ка, Лукаш. С тобой реплики какие-то появились? Других послушников.
I'd like to know something about the...
I don't know.
О, он еще не
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Not a lot. I don't know him. Actually, I don't know much about him at all, except that he's not a stickler for rules.
You really don't know anything about anyone? Well, thanks anyway.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
I'd like to know something about the other novice.
I don't...
Do you know anything about Yodok?
I don't. He doesn't like me, and he's on very friendly terms with the circators.
Йодок у нас сливает инфу. Я понял.
Are you joking? Don't you know anyone at all here?
Why should I?
I'd have thought you might want to know who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. I definitely do. In fact, I probably already know more about them than you do.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more.
Ты уже говорил. В поисках о себе.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Нет, я не собираюсь говорить.
Is there really no...
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath. Never forget that.
Как скажешь. Так, Иоанн. С тобой вроде разговаривали уже. Монах. Антоний. Монах. Не понял, а где-то еще должен быть этот... Тот, кто соревнуется за аббатство-то.
What troubles you?
Что ты думаешь о других послушниках?
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices.
Чиж?
What can you tell me about Siskin?
That there's no man alive less suitable for the monastic life than him.
You don't know young Lord Capon.
I've heard things. Siskin must have been like him. Fighting, drinking, fornicating. But then he ended up in here.
Why is he in the monastery?
No one knows. Maybe he's hiding from something. Or maybe he's being punished.
Do you think he has a secret?
Don't we all? But unlike the others, he absolutely refuses to speak about his life before the monastery.
That's all I wanted to know about him. Thanks.
Yodok?
What about Yodok?
Be on good terms with him. If you show even the slightest hint you don't like him, he'll make your life hell. He's a slimy little pedant who'll rat you out to the superiors. Once he finishes his novitiate, I imagine he'll want to climb his way up the ladder to at least Circator. He's a man who enjoys ordering others around.
That's all. Thanks.
Все? Блин. Не хочу я никому сейчас рассказывать, о чем я здесь делаю.
Pay more attention, bro.
Невлас. Или как-то так. Невлас. Невлас должен быть. А что, еще долго будем хавать? До 8? Вроде я со всеми уже переболтал.
Pay more attention, brother.
Да, думаю, так и есть. Нет, давай ждем. И чуть-чуть до 8, да? Там потом какая-то работа начинается. Вот, харе.
Prays long into the night. Young people have no respect for writing these days.
But they'll learn.
Работать в
We were
трапезную.
no different.
Работать в трапезную.
Pay more
What's your
attention,
step, brother?
Стоп.
Slow down, brother.
Что за...
What's your step, brother? Pay more attention. Slow down.
Блин, это я должен там не оставаться. Сложно как-то. Ой, не, Влас, как раз вот я с тобой еще не болтал.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Neblis, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
Расскажи мне о себе.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to ensure the monks live a humble life and that any surpluses go to the poor. But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brother's gluttony and the construction of a new church don't swallow up the few resources we have left.
I'm interested in the election of the new abbot.
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up about that, they spent no time considering how they could make the monastery a better place now.
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rules of the order to make them fit their interests. So, to balance the scales, they want the novices to lead exemplary lives. Sin abounds here, just as in the outside world.
Так, какие грехи совершают
What sins are
братья?
you talking about?
The scripture says, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." I'm sorry, Gregor, it's not my place to speak about the sins of others.
Окей.
Tell me something about how the new abbot will be elected.
A new abbot has to be elected once the old one dies. All the brethren can vote, with the exception of novices. The abbot's crozier will be conferred on whoever is chosen, and he'll take the vow. When he becomes abbot, a monk spends most of his time dealing with politics outside the monastery, instead of actually leading the monastery. But he still maintains a fundamental influence on life here.
Скажи мне о
Can you
Петре.
tell me about Abbot Peter?
Peter's wise in the ways of politics and a good shepherd, but as you've already heard, he's old and infirm. The other brothers see him with one foot in the grave, but I still have hope for him. But you, brother, don't let yourself get involved in the games of your superiors. Could you help me with something?
With what?
С чем?
I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
Да, ну давай. Только вот зачем я
What do you need me for?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken.
Ну приехали.
Now you know most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the libri prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man.
Авиценна
But
книжка у
here,
меня
at some
тоже в
point,
сундуке
someone
лежит.
decided his book is the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the east, were they not?
Блин, я тут все, походу, пограбил. Где
Where
я
can I find
найти?
it?
Да где? В своем сундуке ты ее можешь
In the
найти.
library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it, which is exactly what we don't want.
Is there anything you can tell me that would help?
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks. But I can't tell you where or how. Perhaps Brother Salarius could help.
Я не знаю, где их достать, но, возможно, брат Килар тебе поможет. Прокатило. Почему вы не можете сделать это сами?
Why can't you do it yourself?
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot. Can you imagine me crawling around in the black of night searching for a forbidden book?
You could just ask for it.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried? Unfortunately, Librarian Cyril is a stubborn ass.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go at night. It's locked, but I'm sure you'll manage to get in. They say Brother Salarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, bring it to me, and I'll then use it to make Peter's medicine. We'll soon have the election of the abbot over and done with.
Так, я бы хотел побольше узнать о выборах. Слышал ты их кандидатов.
Is there any way I could help you get elected? Somehow tip the scales in your favor?
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and shout, "Vote for Nevlus, vote for Nevlus"?
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. We're all brothers in Christ. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery. I'd be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in order. But if I don't know exactly what's wrong, then my promises are just empty slogans.
Very good then. I'll find out what I can.
Thank you, brother.
То есть я должен стучать. Так, что мне надо было узнать? Слышал побольше знать о выборах. Так, здесь
Is there any way I could...
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and shout, "Vote for..."
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother.
Понятно,
But
понятно.
That doesn't...
Pity?
Точно, мы
I'm
же
here to
работать
work.
должны.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion.
Улучшающих
Once you finish
пищеварение.
them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
А что это за зелья такие? Все, забрал. Так. Вызывает... Вот, смотрите. Артемизия. Самогон крепкий и горький, введение вызывает и для пищеварения помогает. Противоядие. Что вызвано теми замышляет, недобро исцеляет. Чтобы глаза был точнее, а рука тверда. Выпить надо лучше, как витаю. Ну, не то. Краснобай. Это у нас не то. Вызывает в человека кровавое бешенство и придает ему сверхчеловечество. Понятно, не то. А тяжести в животе. 2 ромашки, 1 мята. Приготовить. Итак, что у нас по порядку? Тебе понадобится самогон. А, вот есть спиритус. Тебе понадобится самогон, горсть мяты и 2 горсти ромашки. Измельчи ромашку. Не доводя до кипения, одним оборотом. Чё? Измельчи ромашку. Измельчи. Дистиллятор. Ступка. Ромашку. Ромашку, говорю. Да возьми ты. Так. Левый. Нет. Спиритус. Так. Теперь я могу ромашку взять? Ромашку. В ступку. Пестик. Хоп-хоп-хоп-хоп. Хоп-хоп. Это считается то, что я ее измельчил? Ладно, сбрасывай. Так. Все ингредиенты в каталог и подогреваю в течение 1 оборота. 2 ромашки. Стоп, Я еще одну ромашку должен, да? Измельчить. Мяту одну. Я должен туда закинуть. Теперь песик я опять измельчаю. В котелок. Так, кьюшкой 1 оборот. Теперь выпить, ну, то есть вылить. И получилось. От тяжести в животе. Уху. Стоп. А чё? У меня уже сразу 2 готовится? Что-то. Почему? Я сразу 3 приготовил. Нормально. Так.
Watch your step, brother.
Ага.
What is it, brother?
Ну, я как бы...
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices.
Ой, спасибо, спасибо. Покажи зелье. Все? Отсюда выхода нет. Там через окно я не могу вылезти. Нет, не могу. И что у нас теперь? Заутренняя, 8 утра. Работа в библиотеке. Да ладно. Еще 2,5 часа ждать? А уже 2,5? Да, 2,5 часа.
Crux Santa sit mihi lux, non...
Блин.
What troubles you?
Я бы хотел побольше узнать о выборах, что надо было сделать.
I'm interested in the...
You're not alone.
Why?
Так, это говорил уже. А, во, брат
I'd be
Ян.
interested to know more about Brother John.
I don't like to speak ill of people, but Circuitor John is the worst person the monks could pick to represent them. He's nothing but an old schemer and pedant who preaches water but drinks wine. He's won the older brethren over because they know he won't call an end to their debauchery.
У него же там другая. Иоанн. Вот так вроде. Так почему
Why do you want to become abbot?
И почему мне
I
нельзя?
see the way things are headed
Я
around
хочу
here,
свой
I have no
собственный
other
монастырь.
option. Itinerant preachers speak of the corrupted black heart of the church, and I can't deny there's truth in what they say. I'd like to change things and bring back meaning and esteem to the monastery.
Я
That's all.
узнал
Thank you.
все, что хотел, да?
Peace be with you, brother.
О, красноречие. Нормально. Че, у меня красноречие до 20-ки уже? Где это? Нет? Блин. 20-ка, но не до конца сама прокачалась, да? То есть здесь чуть бонуса. Я понял. Так.
Peace be with you, brother.
Да, и тебе не хворать. А ты кто у нас? Просто монах? Блин. Может, я успею? Карл IV. Ну-ка, интересно, я тут все книжки прочитал?
Watch your step, brother. Why such haste?
Только я не помню. Стоп, стоп, стоп. Стоп, 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 стоп. Если нас поймают, нам светит та-та-та. Но это если нас поймают. Если не поймают... Блин, да как? А сюда эта дверь куда идет? Вот бы сейчас было бы... Ой-ё. Вон стражник. Стоп. Коняшек. Вов, тебя можно. Что-то такое, да? Окей. Интересно, на территорию захожу. Я из коняшика уже не могу доставать? Пожалуйста, только не сактивируйся на меня, пожалуйста, пожалуйста, пожалуйста. Авиценна, отлично. Страницы, отлично. Ну, грошиков, ну, как бы... Чутка так, ну вот, тыщенку возьму. Кинжал. Где у нас ключ, 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 ключ? Ключ. Нет, церкви нет, не то. Для заданий. Ключ от запретных книг. Монастыря. Не знаю, вот этот может тоже еще туда же. А у Некрономикона у меня нет уже. Миска из пещеры, кость тоже, это вот здесь я все добывал. Не знаю, нужно оно будет или нет. Показания ретика, ключ заберу. Камень убийца, ключ от сундука. Очнулся. Не, ну я тогда как бы тоже ночью ее это крал, поэтому сейчас как бы не вижу того, чтобы я что-то нарушил. Так. Этих ищеек тут нету. У которых плащ накинут. Это как раз вот эти... Брат Келарь, ты же меня не сдашь? Фу. Итак, брат Невлас, я тут сползал, книжонку притащил.
Talk to me, brother.
Стопы. А то есть теперь я сейчас как раз уже и решаю, да? Вор, видит заряженное дело, меч царицы, жирные куски богатых. А где тот квест, который... В котором... Узнай для брата Невласа. Расскажи брату Иоанну про кражу запретной книги. Не хочу.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
Так, нет. Мы сейчас немного по-другому поступим. Сейчас посмотрю. Да, время уже подходит к концу, то есть продолжать квест мы будем в следующей серии. Вот, в этом серии мы очень много болтали, много информации мы узнали. Вот. А в следующей как раз мы уже посмотрим, что из этого всего выйдет. Надеюсь, вам понравилось. До новых встреч. Пока-пока.